Hey everybody, welcome to iConversations. We are absolutely delighted today to have Bjorn Kunzel and Dee Mangion coming to us from opposite ends of the country. And we are delighted to have them share the tools they're using in real estate to make them successful. One thing I love about these sessions is it never fails. We'll have 1, 2, 3, 4 agents, and they'll all be doing different things, but still getting runs on the board and winning. So welcome to iConversations, guys.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having us.
Uh,
Hi,
we want
everyone.
we might start. Welcome, Dee. This is Dee's first Icon, and we're delighted to have her joining us on iConversations. We might start with you, Dee. Just tell us where you are doing real estate and how long you've been in real estate.
I'm in Mackay, Northern Queensland. Some say central, but northern.
Yeah.
And I think I've lost count, but I think it's about 13 years, so getting
Yes.
close to 14 years. So I started at the young age of around 50
Yes.
and probably jumped all hoops in the process, but still here.
Yep. That's okay. That's great. And what about you, Bjorn? If people
So,
haven't met you yet or they don't know about you, tell us your story.
yes, I'm from South
South
Australia,
Australia.
northeastern suburbs, and basically, yeah, live in the northeastern suburbs. I've grown up here, lived here my whole life, a little bit boring. Got into real estate in 2008, 2009, right in the middle of the GFC. Learned some tough strategies and tough skills to keep me surviving. And I'm the only person left out of my real estate course of about 50 people that's still doing real estate. Everyone else has dropped off. So I've been doing it for about 16 years now and love it.
That's fantastic. You saying that reminds me. I just saw somebody from my real estate class before electricity, and they're him and I are the only ones left out of about 40 people. So it's interesting to watch people go. So fantastic, guys. Just give us a feel for what's happening in your marketplace at the moment.
Yeah, you want to fire away first?
Okay. Yeah, well, I think listings have tightened up. We're probably a little bit behind everywhere else. So it's definitely obvious if you haven't been prospecting, I think, because you still have your handful, but I can see a lot of different methods. Some of the, if we call them the number one agencies, the main agencies in town, using, upfront no fee marketing, not no free fee, but a number of things to entice, and heavier on their advertising billboards. It's just like bang, bang, bang. So yeah, but
Yeah.
the buyers. So, it wasn't a good time for me to kick back a little bit and get involved more in my reno, because if I had 20, I could sell them probably. I've got a good handful of connecting investors and buyers agents, but I just don't have the stock. And
Yeah.
it's the lowest I've been, but I must admit I haven't been as active.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Bjorn, what about your marketplace?
Pretty much the same here. Stock levels are low. Buyers are still out in abundance. Properties are still selling. The fabricated housing crisis that the Labor government has created for us is doing exactly what they intended it to do, which is to create inflation to cover up the fact that the monetary system is a failure. And so they've let us here. And I think as long as they continue excess immigration, the problem won't stop. And properties will still sell for ridiculous amounts of money. Banks will still keep lending ridiculous amounts of money, and people will still keep paying ridiculous amounts of money for property because it's a supply and demand issue. The supply is extremely low and the demand is extremely high. It's like me inviting 50 people over for dinner and only setting a table for 6 people. That's what we've got going on at the moment right now. So it's creating bidding wars, and people are trying to do anything they can to secure a property over somebody else by any means necessary. It is slowly starting to change for the markets that are sort of 900 plus. Anything under $600,000, my dog could sell.
Yeah.
Anything sort of that 750 to 900 mark is an easy sell as well. So the market is definitely a seller's market, and I don't expect to see a buyer's market
Anytime
for
soon.
decades to come.
Yeah. Let me go back just for a second for those of you that have been following along with Bjorn for quite some time. Bjorn, just give us an idea of how those prices have jumped since you came to EXP. So you've been with EXP for 4 years or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So something that
Well,
was selling
actually,
for 400 when you started, what's that selling for now?
So a $400,000 home now is attracting around about 750 to almost 800. So it's almost doubled.
Yeah.
And that's obviously the post-COVID results of everything the government did.
Yeah. Yeah. Lots of factors that come into play with the surging demand for sure. Today's session, we're going to talk a little bit about the tools that you guys are using to achieve the success that you've got. And one of the things that when Bjorn suggested this, which is a great topic, is that EXP provides a variety of tools, but then there are so many other tools that agents can get access to. And if people are serious about their career and they want to invest in their career, Bjorn's going to share some wonderful things that you can get into. So Bjorn, what we'll do is we'll take it easy on Dee to start with, and we'll get you to share a little bit, Bjorn, and then Dee, you just jump in when you feel comfortable. So Bjorn, take it away.
Do you want to let me share my screen? Because I've written up a list
sorry,
here
mate. I should have
10
that all.
things that I use.
Yeah, hold on.
So
There you
then
go.
I can just show them to everybody.
Yep. Perfect.
All right, so everyone can see that list there.
Yep.
So basically, there's a lot of things that you can do, and there's a few more than what's on this page. But this is the guts of what I use. So obviously, we all have access to Agent Box here, which is our database. If you're not databasing or you're not running a database and you're not databasing properly, you're probably earning about 30 to 40% of what you could be earning. So databasing is extremely important. So everybody gets captured and everything goes into Agent Box straight away and categorized: vendor, appraised, prospective vendor, prospective buyer, the suburb that they live in, whether they're a developer, investor, whatnot. So I add people into categories, so then that way I can keep in touch with people and quickly find out if I want to find a list of developers. I can go into Agent Box and I can go developer, and it'll give me a list of everyone who's had that particular tag against their name. So I can just specifically talk to developers. If I want to speak to interstate investors, I can do the same, so on and so forth. So Agent Box first and foremost for databasing. That links in with ActivePipe, which is what I use to run campaigns. So automated campaigns, email campaigns with ActivePipe.
Sorry to interrupt, Bjorn, but your Active Campaign, that is a standalone product that drives your email marketing. Is that right?
That's right. So Agent Box is included for us here at EXP. ActivePipe costs me about $140 a month. And I've been using that just because it enables me to add video content into my emails a lot easier. You can do emails from Agent Box, and you can set up trails and whatnot from Agent Box to have automated systems going out from there for free. But it's easy with ActivePipe.
Yeah.
Because just the way you put an email together, I do a lot of video content. So then you can put a lot of video content into there as well. So just listed campaigns go out, letting everybody in my database know when anybody in Team EXPSA, lists a property, and it puts it out to 5,000 or so people. So it helps promote the other agents that are working in South Australia, not just myself. And it gives them credit, not me. So it shows their name and their mobile number and whatnot. It doesn't pretend that it's mine. Just sold. So it lets them know what's been happening with sold properties in the area. Appraisal requests, weekly open inspections lists. So ActivePipe and Agent Box are two things that I think are very, very useful, especially to start with from a databasing point of view. We use Messenger as well, Facebook Messenger, and that's mainly for team communication. So every day in Team EXPSA, we've got a Messenger group, and if somebody lists a property, we'll put it in there and, hey, has anyone got any buyers, and so on and so forth. So there's a lot of collaboration that happens through Messenger, and a lot of problem solving that happens through Messenger as well. And we've got those other chats like, EXP Australia on Workplace and things like that, where people can, help one another as well. So I find that's a very handy tool. I find that when you're helping other people with their careers, it also helps and benefits you as well. And often people will help me as well. SMS, HomePass, I check everybody in that comes through every open inspection in through HomePass, because HomePass links directly back to Agent Box. And so everybody that gets entered into HomePass will automatically go back into my database, and they'll go under the category of a buyer category. So they'll receive a welcome to the property SMS. Dear Rob, thanks for visiting XYZ Street today. Please find below a brochure to the property. Any questions, please ask. And then once you've left the property, you'll get a thanks for attending the open inspection. Here's a digital offer form. And then you'll get another SMS saying, hey, offers have arrived. We're now doing a final inspection on this day at this time. Taking offers, last chance SMSs, letting people know that this is the last chance to make an offer. And then letting people know once property's under contract, letting people know once the property's sold, and then those same people getting a SMS asking if they've got a property that's similar, because I've got X amount of buyers left over. This here, Home Pass Premium, which EXP gave to us a couple of years ago, has been a game changer. It's very simple. It's an app on your phone. You just go, hey, what was your name? Rob, no worries. Last name, fantastic. Mobile number, bang, enter them in. And it just keeps track of your data very, very cleanly, and it enters them into your database, like I said. Facebook, do lots of Facebook content as well. Facebook Lives get better algorithms. Chris Jansen got me onto that 4 years ago when we started this journey together. I wasn't doing any Facebook Lives, but the algorithms for Facebook Lives work a lot better than a standard. So do property tours, just listed, just sold, homes wanted, paid ads as well through Metaprop Digital, property campaigns. And that brings me to Metaprop. Every property that I list, I try to get a budget of at least $650 if I can. I send that to Sean Egan at Metaprop Digital. We do a property video, and then we promote that property video through Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube with paid ads. And quite often those ads in Facebook and Instagram and YouTube may have 7,000 to 14,000 views. Now, does it help you sell the property? I don't know. I don't really know exactly where buyers come from. Some come from realestate.com, come from domain, some come from colleagues, some come from socials, but it does get me seen. And I've listed properties just because people have rang me up and said, I've seen you all over the socials. I want you to sell my house. So that's another one quickly there. Videos, I use Mangion and CapCut for videos because video content is king. If you're not doing video content, you're probably leaving another 30 to 50% of what you could be earning behind on the table as well. It's just simple stuff, property tours, professional videos.
So we're now down 80%, Bjorn, if we're not doing those couple of things.
I honestly think it depends. Everybody wants to do different numbers and everyone wants to do different things. But if you want to go big and go max, I think video content is very.
I totally agree.
Along with social media.
Yeah.
It's like when you market a house and sell a house, you can do everything. Like if there's say 15 different types of products you can offer your seller to get a result, or you can just do one thing. If you do the 15, you've left no stone unturned. So 100%. You are actually maximizing. So then we've got Open View, which is a company that I use. They go out and take all my photos for me, and then they've got a website. And the website's very easy. I log in and I can basically create my brochures from there. They'll do photos, site plans, floor plans. I've got a deal where I get brochures, flyers done, videos done, signage done as well. And basically I build it all myself on a website and I approve it all myself. And it takes me about 5 minutes to get a property from having no marketing material to having brochures then delivered to my door the next day, the signboard installed the next day, and having the marketing material that I need. And then I use Rate My Agent for social proof. It's like a Google review site, sort of similar, but it's Rate My Agent. And then I use Drop Forms for digital forms. Now, of those, there's a few that are paid, but there are a few that are free as well. But that's basically just in a nutshell what I use. And I know Dee's way of operating, because we had a quick chat before we jumped on here, is a little bit different to mine as well. So you don't need to necessarily have all these things, but this is just sharing what I do and what I have in my business. But when we ask Dee what she uses, it may be different. She might be a little bit more a personal touch, a bit more old school. And it goes to show that there's several ways to skin a cat, as to speak. You don't necessarily have to do everything, but if people want to know what's Bjorn doing, well, that's what I'm doing right there. So just copy and paste.
I'm going to come back to you, Bjorn, and ask you some questions about those tools, but we'll pop it over to Dee. Bjorn, if you can just stop sharing your screen there for a second. Perfect. So Dee, we're going to come back to you. Tell us a little bit about, first of all, about your marketplace. How many homes are in your marketplace? How many agents are competing in that marketplace? And then we'll talk a little bit about the tools you use.
Well, I'm one that doesn't keep all the numbers, but we have a lot of agents and a lot more have come into the scene and even out of town agents. So we probably have too many agents when you think about it, but probably 50% of them could maybe do under 20, 15. So you're sort of dominated by the main offices, but the turnover is good and consistent. I can compare, and even with myself, anything I've put to market generally is under contract within 2 weeks. I don't even get to utilize all the marketing. And then if you had 4 or more of them, so that's why it's naughty when you're not doing everything to get it. So that side of it is still consistent.
What we So I know that you're working on, you got some investment strategies that you've been focusing on of recent, but as you made that transition to EXP, what kind of tools did you use to get your name out into the community?
Okay, well, I sort of started my years probably only about 8 months in an office, and then actually got my full license, and then worked with the chap here who had a small office, but everyone had the opportunity to be independent. So I got my taste in early years on that. And because I do love the marketing side, that is a strength I believe I have. I just don't have enough time to master it as much as I'd like to.
Yeah.
So from early days, I was pretty consistent with letterbox dropping, and I've only really let it go because I've got busier in these last couple of years, but it's cost me. So I know when I've heard, in discussions, there's for and against with letterbox drop because of the technology. I think it depends on your area. So in Mackay, you have to still look at it's a regional town.
Yeah.
And, we have so many suburbs under the same postcode. So I chose to live in a little seaside suburb, and it was really kind of the underdog looked at as no potential. And I used to think everyone was crazy. So it is made up of beachfront homes. So you've got the higher end, and the rest are all cottages. So very mixed. And then I guess I just started to specialize, and I would religiously letterbox drop, but I would design so the branding was there. And then we really had our downturn. So, and a lot of things happened, and I thought, well, perhaps I need the office environment. So positive things came from each one. I went through about 3, I think.
Yeah.
maybe four by the time I got to EXP. But this just reminds me of my early years, the freedom. And I can see feedback from people, the perception, it's not perception because I'm getting the results, but the perception of what people can see is, oh, you are doing so well, you are doing so well. So it's noticed. And where that comes in is you have the freedom of being you with EXP, apart from the support from everyone. So that's always encouraging, instead of getting your wings clipped that often can happen in an office environment, not with bad intentions, it just happens.
Yeah.
And especially when you have to follow a brand. So I hear Bjorn and all the stuff he does, and there's a number I need to implement and want to implement. And I did put at the start of the year that I was going to be learning. It was a year of learning.
Yeah.
Because time, speed, the quickness of everything is essential. And I have noticed through EXP, I have moved to a higher level with my sales. And so I've noticed the difference of what you can manage when you're not using all of that, and the potential. So I'm decades probably ahead of, say, Bjorn's example. So I'll give that. It'd be interesting if anyone has time, even in the chat, to highlight whether they use all of those options or whether they are old school. And I'm very visual. So I still have a problem because I've worked with diaries and pen. I have for me, it's challenging to remember, okay, agent box, I've got all these appraisals. But if I had to flick my phone around, I have a glass type whiteboard next to me. And when I keep that updated, it's quite amazing when you visually see it. So for me, I need to see it. And so my methods are pretty much, I try to enter what I can into Agent Box, but I don't utilize it like I should. And that's probably my biggest regret in real estate, that I didn't put that time and discipline in. But I've managed to survive. I pay my bills. I'm growing my portfolio of investment properties. So something is still working. But if I had a choice, I would streamline and encourage that to anyone. So letterbox drop has been successful, and that I guess branding around over the years. There's a magazine that came around but that's a lot of money compared to what's available now.
Yeah.
I've done the bus thing on my time. So at the minute, I am going to invest in branding that's quite visual around town. But getting out there and doing it, Facebook.
But I was going to say, you're really consistent on Facebook.
I have been, except for the last few weeks,
I
because
know,
I've
but
been
you were away, but yeah.
yeah, and I love it. Once you get past, we can talk about that another time. But once you get past the fear of just giving a shit, basically, so I still have a problem with the live. I must admit, anytime I've done it, my phone, I just don't like it. So I'd like to get myself to do that. But I keep my phone and anything I'm doing, I involve, because when you share, and what I've found is the more down to earth you are, I can look back to 10 years of video, probably listing properties, doing videos. If anyone wanted to stalk my page and get the popcorn and go back. And I was doing video a long time ago, but now it's more on a personal level. And I do like to connect with people. And I really encourage, even if you can't do anything else, but you just get out there and be real is really what it's all about. And you can really, even if you don't have a lot of listings, if I can use the term, you can really milk one listing. Whether it's putting the sign up, it is a bit more work, my coming soon signs. I still tend, for the volume I've got, to put my own signs up. I really need to change to core flute, because when you're only like 5 foot whatever one, and these signs are that big and bloody heavy, and you don't do gym anymore.
And you've got your drill.
And it's windy. Yeah, I'm a drill, and usually my pearls, and sweating like anything. And sometimes they're steep, but I giggle about it. But at the same time, it creates an energy and a momentum. And if you get mindful about it, you've got another sign coming up, you've been trusted, and you really build that up. I don't know, it comes together. So I see a lot more agents doing the coming soon and that now. But what it can do, if you don't have a lot of properties, is just basically be doing that. It's the coming soon, and then you swap over the sign, you stand out there 2 minutes and 30 seconds and throw it on social media. But one of the things, so while everyone else uses the database and everything properly, it's always in my head never to miss an opportunity. Anyone I speak to, or any email that comes through, whether it's an inquiry, and I have my Facebook link in my signature, but I always highlight to them and reply and be saying, if you want to keep up with what I've got coming on, if you'd like to like or follow my page, this is it. And I've grown it organically. I don't know if I'm over 1,400, but I haven't paid for anything. And it's only recently I look at the insights and the local that it's built, but the investors that follow me, the feedback that I get from interstate people. So I really need to bring that up, but I believe it can shortcut any agent if they implement the time. And then often people will capture you and they'll go through your messenger. So with me, it's just still very much my diary, my boards, like if I've got the appraisals, and that's better than not doing anything, because I have gone through spells where I don't even write it. And then when I've caught up, I thought, oh my God, that many appraisals.
Yeah.
I need to call these people. Yeah.
And what they say, the battery life on a pen is amazing. It never dies. So when you've got the pen in the diary and you're writing things down, it's fantastic.
And just one more thing, rate my agent. I'm pretty much like Bjorn. Yep. I've managed it 4 years as #1 agent in my little area.
Fantastic.
And I probably don't promote it enough. I thought I got to pick up a few things. And the last 2 years, in spite of all the other agencies, I got EXP as #1 agent.
That's
agency.
Amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah. So that does, and people think that, you're not connected from there, but they do search you on there.
Yeah, very good. Bjorn, can I just pop back to you in the time that we have left and just say, if you, I just ask a question. So you're a machine, and we'll just put you into that category. But not everyone is there yet. If you had to start over again, of those things, those tools that you told us, what do you think are probably the top 3 that you would start to use first?
Okay, well, Agent Box, of course, because that's included. And I think that goes hand in hand with Home Pass Premium because we've all got access to that. So let's just say that they're just givens.
Yep.
So apart from those two things there, I would be going heavy on the socials. Facebook, I've got Bjorn Kunzel Real Estate Facebook, Bjorn Kunzel Real Estate Instagram, Bjorn Kunzel Real Estate YouTube. So just use your first name, your last name, and the words real estate. Keep it simple.
Unless you're in Western Australia, don't do that. You'll get in trouble.
Sorry?
I said, unless you're in Western Australia, don't do that. You'll get in trouble. We're just going through that right now.
Okay, you're not allowed to do that.
No, they tell you that you are promoting yourself as a real estate agent without a license if you do that.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you know, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, make sure you got those things going because everybody's on there. You know, it used to be when I was growing up, people were addicted to drugs. Now people are addicted to phones. So go where the addicts are. The addicts are on the screens, you know. So go to Facebook. So I would definitely say the social media would be definitely a huge one. I would definitely say start doing video content. Probably video content and social media would be the two big ones that I would really focus on, and then just trying to make sure that everybody I meet goes into the database. That'd be the three big things. Database. You run a database properly. I've always been taught from even when I started, even though the guy that I started with turned out to be a bit of a dodgy character, he had real estate mastered, and he was database is king. Like database is what will set you apart in the top 10%. Versus the lower 90% databasing, because databasing is keeping in contact with people. Once people have 15 points of contact with you, they know who you are. They hopefully trust you. They hopefully realize you're competent and they like you. Most of my emails probably don't get read. Most of my emails just quickly get breezed over and shut down. But, you know, when the time comes that they're thinking about selling a house, they've seen my name so many times. I have people ring me up, oh, you've been sending me emails for 9 years. I'm ready to sell. Come and sell my house. And it just sort of brings the whole process just into you're there to sign the house. You're not there to promote yourself. You're not there to try to sell yourself. You're not there to try to win the listing. You've got the business. It's just a matter of the business is yours there to lose. So I think databasing, social media, and video content would be the three things I'd focus on.
Okay. And I want to ask you one last thing before we jump off. Those that are scared to go live on video, how do we get that happening for them? How do we get them to overcome that fear?
Don't worry about what you're going to say and what's going to happen. And, you know, you look at some of my lives and I'm like, hello, blah, 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 blah. And I just go, geez, I can't even say a word today, guys. Sorry about this. Let me start again. Welcome to 5th Avenue. Geez, I finally got it out. So you got to make mistakes. Just roll with it. Have some fun with it. You know what I mean? Like, people want to see the real you, and they don't want to see, hello and welcome to 5th Avenue here at Semaphore. This commanding residence offering they don't want that. They want, g'day guys, 5th Avenue, Semaphore. This one's a beauty. I really love this one. Beach 2 seconds away, school at the end of the road. What more could you want? Perfect for families. Just be yourself.
What I love about that, Bjorn, is I worked for a guy once and he said, well, we're not real fancy, so let's not try and play in that space. Let's just be authentic.
People are sick and tired of bullshit. Mind my language, if I can say that. People are so over it. They're so sick of it. They just want, like Dee said, they want a real, they want a real person that's raw. You know, so the biggest fear that I find people have about Facebook Live is, oh, what if I forget what I'm going to say? What if I forget something? What if I make a mistake? Just roll with it. If you make a mistake, turn it into a blooper. Make it funny. You know,
and I think also, I don't know if this is true still, but when I was first doing it, you could just go live to yourself. So you could practice.
Well, some people say, can I just film a video? Like I said to Prab, I said, I'm throwing you in the deep end because Prab and I are doing a property in Ingle Farm. And so he's done his first video with me yesterday, and English is his third language. Wow. So we had to do a few takes to get the video right, and that was cool. And I just kept on encouraging, mate, doing great, doing great, doing great. We nailed it at the end. And I said, you're going to do a Facebook Live now? And he goes, oh, gee. I said, just do it in your own language. Do it in Punjabi, right? You've got a lot of clients out there that are Indian, that are Punjabi, that them listening to English might be difficult. So just speak in your own language and do a Facebook Live in your own English. Create a niche. So then he went through and he did a Facebook Live, and I had no idea what the heck he was talking about, but it wasn't directed towards me. It was him and his community. So, you know, if you are from a different background and you do have English as a second or third language and you're worried about doing it in English because you're worried about blurring your words, go to your native tongue, go to your native language, go to that niche, you know, go to that, appeal to the 3,000 people that are from your community in the area. You know, you don't have to appeal to everybody. So just get out of your comfort zone. I was terrified when I did Facebook Live, and Chris was like, "You're doing it, you're doing it," and I was like, "Oh." And then now people go, "Oh, it just flows off your tongue, Bjorn." But
Yeah.
it wasn't always like that. The first few were very daunting, and they looked pretty bad when I watched them back. But who cares? You got to start somewhere, you know.
Yeah.
So just get out there and do it.
What I love about both of you sharing today is the fact that you are both very authentic. You have different goals and you're working in different marketplaces, and you've got different comfort zones, but you're taking what you feel comfortable with and you're pressing on it. And I love what you said, Dee, that you have had the year 2024 as a year of learning. And so you're a tried and true real estate agent, but you still got that desire to keep learning, to embrace new
Yeah, I think we
technologies.
have to be honest with ourselves. You know, there are, and the planet is changing.
Yeah.
So, and you know, for the years that I still intend to be, but it's just really simplifying my life because I have noticed when you get busier, yeah, and we do all have goals for different numbers. So,
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you both for joining us on iConversations. Those of you watching or watching the replay, you'll notice we've tried to condense the iConversations into about a half an hour because that's the feedback we've got. So if you're thinking, why aren't we going for 45 minutes or an hour? The feedback is if we can just keep it tight, then I can come. So thank you very much, guys. Have a fantastic week, and
thanks,
we'll
guys.
catch you on the next one.
Thanks, Rob. Thanks, guys. Have a great
See ya,
week.
guys.
Bye.